So where do we go when everything feels like it just stays the same? Where do we go from here when everything is said and done? This is what we do. We get down to the beat, y'all. We get down to the beat, y'all. Let's get down. We get down to the beat, y'all. Yeah, it's like I'm stuck in this mystic cloud, waiting for something I can't get out. And I don't even care, no, I don't even care anymore. It's like we're losing all track of time. I just got one thing on my mind. Baby, one day I'm hoping that you will be mine. Turn my life around. Wow. Yeah. Where do we go when everything feels like it just stays the same? Where do we go from here when everything is said and done? Where do we go when everything feels like it just stays the same? Where do we go from here when everything is said and done? We're starting all over. And let's get together now, so we can find a spark in the night. Yeah. Bring it. Come on. Blow that. That's right. Through our hands.
Hello, Plannerets. How are you? It is my day 15 of my 30-day Mindful Messy March challenge that I have given myself to either show up live or upload a podcast or a recorded video here on YouTube, just so then I can really, prove to myself things don't have to be perfect. I can be messy. My mind could be all over the place, but still be able to function because of the things that I put in place day to day to ensure that I am looking after myself in one form or another. And one of these is showing up here because it's important to make sure that you have connection either with your loved ones, your friends in real life, online, whatever it is that you have a commonality. It could be a book club, a knitting club, or just hanging out with friends for coffee, drinks, or dinner. So I do appreciate if you are here with me today. Make sure to say hello in the chat. And of course, if you are new here, type new. And if you are watching on replay, do the same in the comments section. I love seeing new names and new Plannerette friends to share the same interest with using our planners for our productivity. So for those of you who may be new to my channel, I am Marianne, and through my own planning, habit tracking, well-being, and self-care, habits and routines, I hope you can get inspiration and ideas for your own planning. Don't just use it for your to-do list and just, meal planning when the bills are going to get paid, when to get the car maintained. Make sure you are also using it intentionally as part of your well-being and self-care, because if you do like planners, stationery, excuse me, hang on a tick. If you do like those sort of things, then this is a great way to find some mindfulness activity. So hello to Brenda, who's hanging out here with me. So again, please don't be shy. While I'm talking and showing you my monthly mid-month check-in, I'm sure the community will also have a nice conversation with you in the live chat. So what is today all about? Now, have you ever felt, despite that that your best efforts, life throws challenges that may derail the goals you have set for yourself, whether at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of the year. Well, if you have felt that way, you're not alone. Today I'm going to explore why prioritizing our mental well-being during such time isn't just okay, it's actually very, very essential. Hello, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. So, we are going to do the mid month check in. So, while we also reflect on how our first half of the month is going, we're going to check in on our goals and the habits, and then plan for the next 2 to 3 weeks for the end of March. That way, we can adjust, we can see what's going well, maybe let go of some goals that may not be as important this month, and we can pick it up later in the new month. Plus, I want you to be engaging with me and each other in the live chat, so let me know how your month has been so far. You can talk about just a one word answer. Fantastic. Not so good. A bit overwhelming, stressful. So then that way you will know that you are not alone, because, life's just day to day stuff can a lot of the time just derail us. Sometimes the best laid plan, won't get action just because things happen. All right. So make sure you engage in the chat. So let's go. Now, the first half of March has been quite a journey for myself, filled with big decisions and intense emotions. Now, if you want to find out how tough it has been for me lately and the decisions I had to make, I do have a podcast episode where you can listen to, the things that I had to do to try and figure out which decision to choose from. So I cover how I go through the pros and cons of each choice and what decisions to make using my planner and journaling as a way to move through it. So it's not about, either, forgetting about it or turning my back on it, but actually acknowledging whatever tough decisions you may be going through or big emotions. So remember, these could also be like exciting emotions and you're, unsure of which way to go next. So don't just think emotions are about negative ones or overwhelming or stressful ones. They, big, fantastic decisions can also bring in the same physical and emotional reactions. So if you are going through some big emotions this month, you might find it helpful. That podcast is in the description below. So if you haven't seen that yet, Ronnie Cat's different. The month has been quite different for Ronnie Cat. Excellent. So different, of course, like I said, can be good or overwhelming. So really important that you need to know that it's natural to feel overwhelmed during times where big emotions does arise, especially when life doesn't go as planned. But this is actually the perfect opportunity for us to pause, reflect, and then realign. So, really important. Now, before we do proceed with today's live stream, please note that this discussion is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, if you are maybe going through any mental health concerns, it is essential to seek professional help. So, a lot of the things that I talk about are just from my own experience. And so, I know I've sought therapy before, and I always go to my general practitioner when not just for when I'm physically unwell, but also when I'm mentally or emotionally unable to cope with it. And so I seek professional help. So I just want to say that because, it might bring on, when in our discussion, it might bring on some emotional and mental health concerns. All right. So first, let us have a look. Here we are. I've got my the Ultimate Planner Bundle Printable. So I'm going to look at my March goals. So I created here, this is my goals tracker. Again, like I said, this is part of the Ultimate Planner Bundle Printable. I'll pop that in the chat right now if you did want to check out that printable download that I use, which has all the monthly pages you need for the whole month. So this is the goals tracker, and I use Zig Ziglar's Wheel of Life methodology, where he looks at 7 key areas of focus that you want to try and make sure that you are doing some sort of habits or routines that ensures that you have a nice balanced life. So it's not, doesn't mean that you have to do everything 100%, but if you ever find yourself that maybe you've neglected your house, it's a mess, or you've neglected your finance, or you've neglected your physical or mental well-being, the Wheel of Life really, all it does, so it's not a test or anything like that, all it does is it makes you visually see that, what, for the last 3 months, I haven't been focused on my physical well being. Maybe I need to make sure I add some sort of movement, even if it's just a 2 to 5 minute walk outside. Okay, so that's all it is. It's just, it makes you see that you know okay, well, you know what, my spiritual being well-being is important to me. Maybe I'll add something in my daily or weekly routine that will help me ensure that I'm creating some sort of balance in my life, or that I don't neglect any certain areas for too long, and then later down in the year go, oh my goodness, why have I got so much debt? If you want to look at your financial well being. All right, so for me, for my mental key area of focus, I wanted to finish Let Them Theory, as well as start listening to the Audible book I have, Predictable Profits. For my physical key area of focus, walk on my walking pad 6 times per week, around about 15 to 35 minutes each time, depending on my energy or my mood. And also start incorporating some sort of strength training, and that's all like body weight, nothing with like the heavy weights or anything. So just doing squats and stretches, and maybe some light dumbbell bicep curls, or what are all those different movements, right? For my for my spiritual well-being, continue my mindfulness activity using the Headspace app. For my home, for the moment, not for the moment, we live in a small apartment, so for me, doing the 5 minute tidy up throughout the day is a lot easier than trying to, put in all the cleaning over the weekend, and then taking up that time for, maybe rest. Okay, for my financial goals, well, first of all, do my 30-day Mindful Messy March challenge, showing up on here, creating live streams and YouTube videos to try and ensure, of course, build my community, promote my planner printable download, and also having a look at what was working. So later down the track, when I do want to venture into paid membership, I'll get an idea and get feedback of what type of topics and content I can provide. And then for my career, well, one of the big choices I have to make as part of March, overhaul, was I'm going to be also looking for a full-time job outside of the home. So, review my resume and apply for jobs. And then for my social key area of focus, the goal is to catch up with friends in real life and catch up either for coffee or dinner. And I'm happy to say that I'm catching up for lunch. Hubby and I are catching up for lunch with friends tomorrow. So that is a great thing, because normally, how when you catch up with friends, I'm going to put I've got the aircon on, but I am also going to put my handheld fan, because I am getting quite sweaty under these lights. So you know how when normally you catch up with friends, you text each other and it's like, let's catch up, and then somehow the date never eventuates because you're both busy and life is both happening. So that's the goals that I have set for myself at the beginning of March. Now I got that. I'll make sure to link in the description too, based on how the things I was I looked at the end of February, which one were my top priorities. So I do my goals on a month to month basis because, like, the thing that's happening with me at the moment is things change so often that it's important that I create goals on a regular basis rather than for the beginning of the year or just half the year, because when we're not focusing on what we're supposed to do to get to the goals that we want, so these are your goals, shouldn't be anyone else's goals. What is it that's important to you? Then you go, all right, how well am I going, and what else can I do to make sure that I am taking daily or weekly or regular steps to get there? And that's all it is. You figure out the goal, right? So this is the goal. I see where I need to go. And then you go, well, what steps do I need to do, or what habits and routines do I need to take either each day or 3 times a week, or, however regular you want it to be. So then I am a little bit closer. So it's not about getting it all done in one go. It's the tiny little steps each and every day. So while I'm going through my own mid-month check-in, make sure that you are also thinking about your own goals. Now remember, you don't have to have this many goals. I only have this many goals because a lot of them I do regularly. So like, keep going with my meditation, which I do on a regular basis. Tidy up as much as you can. So make sure that if you are looking at my own goals, that the goals you create for yourself or the goals that you're going to review is within your capacity. If you're only concentrating on maybe movement, of course, everything else is not the only thing you're going to do in the month, but that will be your top priority. So don't do any comparison and go, oh, I should also be thinking about my spirituality. Oh, I should also be thinking about my finance. Oh, I should also be thinking of this. Well, guess what? You already do. If you have been showing up on a consistent basis and showing up to my live stream or watching my videos, you are already doing your connections by being with people in the chat and typing and contributing into the conversation and listening in. You have already actually achieved your goal of connecting with others that share the same interests, or you have your kindred spirits, right? A lot of you I see in the live chat already know each other quite well. You're concerned about how each one is doing. So you have already been ticking your connection or your social key area of focus. So by showing up for yourself and being amongst the community, you are nurturing that social interaction, because human beings are not meant to be isolated by themselves, because our brain is still built in the caveman days where we need to be part of a community to survive and to, be able to fight off any of the saber-toothed tigers and share our foods that we've collected. So our human beings are meant to be social beings, and so you are already hitting that key area of focus of connecting. Ronnie Cat goes, I want to learn how you do the percentage better. We'll do that today. Okay, so we're going to work out and look at it. It's very simple. It's just really a matter of percentage is just the number of days you did your habit versus the number of days it's been so far. So 15 days. So for me, I'm going to count 14 days because, of course, I haven't done all my habits for today. But I will go through that with you. So those are the goals. And then, of course, as part of my the Ultimate Planner bundle, I'm going to remove my dividers so then it doesn't glare. I have my habit tracker. So these habits here, the habits for the goals are amongst these. Now, a lot of these things I already do habitually, but I put them in there because they are the stepping stones that help me move throughout the day. So it's not as if that, oh my God, Marianne, you've got so many goals. A lot of them I already do. Sometimes I forget the reason why I have a lot of these is because I do get overwhelmed. I do get quite anxious throughout the day. I would be doing so well throughout the day, and something will set me off. My husband will look at me funny or roll his eyes, and then that's it. I'll get upset. I'll get cranky. Why did you look that way? What does that mean? Right? And then I can derail my whole day because I got cranky and upset for no reason, and probably has nothing to do with me, right? You know how men normally are thinking of something else, like a joke that they told a friend, and then they ha ha ha, and then you think that it's it's a personal attack. So the habits I have in here just help guide me. As you can see, I don't do it all the time. It's not about doing it 100%. It's one of these things that help guide me for when the day's going well and when the day's not going as well. All right, so I'm going to see if I can, trying to see if I can have a nice clear background. No. Okay, I'm going to take my planner out of the way so we can concentrate really well on which way. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so there's the goals that I have, that I said I would love to, ideally, I love to achieve for the month of March. And then amongst my habits here, so the habits I do in the morning is drink a glass of water and take my pill, do some stretching, because when I wake up in the morning, things are creaky, my neck's sore, my shoulders are sore. So a nice stretch is really good. So I'll go through the habits. So then you might want to start, and the reason why I do it, and you might want to start to maybe incorporate some of them. So water, of course, hydrating yourself because you've been asleep for, however many number of hours you've been asleep. So it's important to hydrate. Drink a glass of water. If you're making tea or coffee while you're waiting, have a glass of water. And they say also drinking a glass of water, if you do drink quite a bit of caffeine, that will help you, stop you from wanting to drink coffee right away. And it's really good for you. Of course, hydrating is good for you. Stretching. So a lot of times when we wake up, our muscles are all tight, and then having tight, especially your shoulders, if you have tight shoulders and things like that, that is sent, the physical tightness sends signal to your nervous system that why are we tight? Are we ready to fight? Are we ready to run? So it's like your amygdala, the part of your brain that is the fight, flight, or freeze, gets activated. It's like, why? So by stretching, you're actually releasing the tension. So then it's sending, signals to your nervous system that, oh, everything's okay. We're relaxed. There's no one to fight. There's no saber-toothed tiger to run away from. Remember, so it's that caveman brain, the way our brain still works, okay? And then, of course, writing down your mood, acknowledging how you feel. So then you can make it valid that, look, I'm sad or I'm upset this morning because yesterday things didn't go right. All right, acknowledge it. Why were you feeling that way? All right, well, what can we do to make ourselves feel better? All right, so then you write down, well, I'll make sure that if I'm tired or I'm cranky or I'm sleepy, that I'm very mindful not to snap at people, not to get angry, take a deep breath before I react, things like that. So it helps set the mood for your day and put a plan into place. And then here I'm doing the high five. Sorry, you can't, probably too small. Hello, Gail. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me bring it closer. High five and 5 dreams. So that's a recent one for this month that I've listened to Mel Robbins, giving yourself a high five in the mirror. So acknowledging that, hey, you are doing a good job, and then writing down your 5 dreams. For the moment, I might actually not continue that, because at the moment I'm not seeing the benefits. Probably the high five, although when I do look at myself in the mirror, I'm more critical rather than being nice to myself. So probably for the month of right away, maybe for the rest of the month, I may pick that up again. So I'm going to black out. So I'm just using the friction colors marker in the black, And again, these are erasable. So if you do change your mind, so that straight away, one thing that I am going to change, right? So if I'm sort of not really seeing any benefits for me, all right, at the moment, because I guess I have so many other things, maybe, the high five and the writing down 5 dreams may already sort of like similar to me writing down my mood. So for me, I'm going to black out the rest of that for the rest of the month, so then I don't have to worry about it. See how, even though, yes, it's most likely beneficial, but for me, I'm not seeing, any big changes about it. The 5 dreams, and each day I've been writing my 5 dreams. And really, the reason why Mel Robbins says write your dreams is the more again, it's like gratitude journaling and victory log. The more you write about it, it's your brain will start to focus on it. So if you want, let's say, a big house, you're going to the your brain's going, so you want a big house? Well, what do you want? What do you need to do to have a big house? All right. Well, you got to get, a job that pays more. You got to get this. You're right. So for me at the moment, I guess I have so many other things on my mind. So I have just in a my Muji A6 planner. I just picked out one A6 Muji planner, and then I've just been writing out the date, 5 things I want. So at the moment, I think it's causing me more anxiety, or like even like maybe comparison, or thinking, oh, how am I going to get there? So for the moment, emotionally, it's I don't see any result from it. Maybe I'll pick it up when my mind isn't so busy with other priorities. Okay, so yes, you can change your mind along the way. You don't have to do something if you're not doing it as often, and all it is maybe you're looking at it and going, oh, I didn't do that, and then you might be hard on yourself. So cross it off. You don't have to do the things that you don't want or is not a priority at the moment. It might change next month. Maybe I'm going, all right, I'm ready to now write down my dreams and make steps towards it each day that'll get me to that dream closer. Okay, so you can take it off the list. So let me know if there's anything on, if you have a habit tracker like me, or if you've written down your goals, anything that you go, maybe not at the moment. And then the other things that I have on there are just my day-to-day routines, upload content on my Instagram, walking pad. Okay, so that's one of our goals. The walking pad. So on the back of my Wheel of Life goals tracker, I have the mid-month check-in. And so this wheel, what it represents is each pie segments represent one of these key areas of focus and the goals. So let's start with, I forgot that one. Meditate. So that's one of my goals, because that's part of my spiritual, which is this: meditate in the morning using the Headspace app. And I'm going to use the green as the color code, because so you can pick whatever color you want. And I'm going to use the first pie for first segment. And each pie has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10 because percentage wise. Okay, so I'm going to do it via each little segment is 10%. So I'm going to show you. Ronnie Cat wanted to know how I do my percentages and how I color in the Wheel of Life pie. So let's start off with meditation. So meditate, okay, is one of my goals. So far, not including today because I'm on the 15th of March already. So the first half of the month, there's 14 days that I'm going to look at. Okay, so 14 days. And then because I track the number of times I meditate in the morning, I can use this information to give me a percentage of how my what percentage of the month have I been doing my meditation? So all I do, there's the meditate line, as you can see there. So I just count the number of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 7 out of 14 I already know is 15, but we're going to use our calculator for that. So then that way, so 7 days out of 14 I meditated. Okay, so let's just do the calculator bit. So all it is 7 divided by 14. And I think, do I have a percentage here? There's a percentage, 50%. Or we're just going to use 5 out of 10, which is 50. So I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this doesn't have to be exact. If you know, if you don't have a habit tracker like this, all you do is, I wonder how many times the first 14 days of the month I meditated. I think it was about 50% or 60%. So it does not have to be exact. You can even rate. It could be a rating on how you feel you went. So you could go, how did I go with my meditation? You know what? Out of 10, I think I did 5 out of 10. And then that's when you would color in 5. All right, so you can do it many ways. You can rate how well you think you achieved the habits that and the habits that you said you wanted to do for the first half of the month, and just rate it. But if I say, like, I only did it 7 days out of 14, but I did a real, those meditations were really good ones. Maybe they were longer, half an hour to 45 minutes. I could easily go and say, you know what, I did really well with my meditation. So even though I only did it 7 days out of 14, but they were really good ones, I'm going to rate it 8 out of 10 or 80%. You can rate it any which way you want. There is no like right or wrong. The way I do this is by percentage, only because I have a habit tracker. And it's easier for me to sort of gauge it all in a similar way. But again, if you don't have a habit tracker, just go by how satisfied you were in achieving the steps to, so your spiritual goal might be reading a Bible passage in the morning or reading scripture, right? So for those who are religious, might be doing it that way. And so you might have only read 3 times in the first half of the month, but they were really good scriptures, and you really, studied it and reflected on it. And you could go, there were really good times for me when I reflected. I'm going to rate it an 8 out of 10. All right, so different ways, because all you're doing at the end, it's not about the percentages or the rating, but when you color in this pie chart, all it is going to give you a visual indication of, you know what, I was pretty balanced in all of them. So even though, yes, I didn't do as well, I didn't do it each and every day, but I can see that it's pretty balanced. Or I can see that, oh, I didn't concentrate on my financial, and it's really important because maybe I've been spending too much on stationery. So if I didn't do as well, then I'm going to make sure for the next half of the month that I do a lot better, focus on it and be more intentional. Okay, so let me know so far if I've got this from, I think I got a back scratcher. I can feel a loose hair on the back, and it's tickling my back and it's making me itchy. So that's my little back scratcher. Okay, so 5 out of 10. I don't know why, because a lot of those moments I either slept in or I didn't do anything because of, the emotional choices that I had to go through and I had to make. So I'm probably okay with that. All right, so the next one on my habit tracker, upload content on Instagram, walking pad. Okay, so one of my goals is to walk on the walking pad. All right, so we'll do more of these things so you can see how it is. You're welcome, Ronnie Cat. All right, so my goal for movement is walk on the walking pad 6 times per week approximately 15 to 35 minutes. So let us have a look. I'm going to start a new one. So then anybody who follows along, so this one is walking pad, okay? So we know there's 14 days out of the month so far. So how many days did I walk on my walking pad? One, can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 out of 14. So it's going to be more than half. 8 divided by 14%, it's 57%. So around about 5.7. So I'm going to round it up. So let's color in 6 segments of our pie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or even if if I wanted to be a little bit more precise, around about 5.7 of that little pie. Okay, so all I'm using here is the zebra mild liner highlighter, and I'm using the fine tip end instead of the chiseled end. Okay, so there's my walking pad. I walked out of 14 days so far in the month of March. I walked 8 times, and that's about 57%, which is that much of my Wheel of Life pie. Okay, so far so good. Everyone's, make sure as you are listening in, start to review your own, so then that way while you're listening, you're already doing your mid-month review, and then when you plan for your new week next week or the rest of March, you already have an idea, and you don't have to, you can then go, oh well, you know what, Marianne, in her own little example, she was able to let go of something that's not a priority at the moment. So then there is no guilt. There is not going to be any guilt for me to suddenly stop doing a habit that I thought I wanted to do at the beginning of the month. I may pick it up again next month, okay? So breakfast, that's easy. So you probably go, why have you got breakfast there, Marianne? Do you forget to eat? Sometimes I do, it'll be like 12 o'clock and I haven't eaten breakfast. But it's also, for me on my habit tracker, the lunch, the breakfast, lunch, see dinner there? It's sort of like a stake on the ground that says, all right, stop, break, have a rest, stop working through whatever you're doing. It's important that you rest. So that is why I put my breakfast there. So see, you can see that, oh, breakfast, I would never forget breakfast, or I would never forget lunch. No, it's more so that it's a guide for me. So then if, let's say, I've had breakfast and I'm just there, twiddling my thumb, I've been scrolling on my phone, I go, okay, well, Marianne, what's next? Okay, well, have you had breakfast? Yes. Color that in. Okay, what's next on the list? Okay, so it's just it breaks your day, reminds you to take your meal, and also just a good way to calibrate you for where you are. So breakfast can, whatever, you might have breakfast at the exact same time, so that's great. But for those who may not have a set time for when they eat, it's just a good way to break up your day. So the next one is work or focus time. So that's normally a 2 to 3 hour time block for me, and then taking breaks in between. So again, lunch, work, connect. Okay, so connect is me, because in the past, I sort of stopped going out with friends, or I wouldn't text anybody because I thought, well, why would, they probably won't be interested in hearing what I'm saying, or a lot of my friends at the time didn't have children, or I thought may not understand what I'm going through as a mum of a child who's on this autism spectrum. So I isolated myself for a long time, thinking I don't want to burden others, or maybe they're not interested in what I'm saying. But I have learnt along the way how connection, and remember, like I said, we're social beings, how important it is to connect, and not just connect when we need help or when we're struggling, but just connect to say, hey, heart emoji, thinking of you. I think I'll make sure to pop that in the description as well, because I talked about that in a recent, I think two podcast episodes ago, how connection is so important in your self-care and well-being, because by you reaching out just for no reason or letting someone else know you're thinking of them, it will give you, oh, not only will make them happy to know that someone's thinking of them, but it'll actually do something really good for yourself, right? You know how the act of kindness, things like that, is because, again, as a community, we want to, the reason why we love likes, and we for a lot of us who may be on content creators, that we like the likes, the follows, it's because it's telling us that, oh, people like us, and when people like us, we know we're not going to get chucked out of the tribe, the cave. We're not going to get thrown out of the cave and be, have to fend for ourselves. So again, our brain is still in that caveman days, that we want to be part of the community. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel safe, right? It's the safe. Oh, I think it's like that, right? It's the safe, right? The safe circle isn't about you protecting others and you being protected. So you have to do both, and connecting is so important. You and me, even though I'm talking to a lens, right? All I'm doing at the moment is talking straight to my camera lens. But I know somewhere, that's why I always ask for chat, I always ask for connection, comments, is that we are connecting, that it is saying that I'm here for you, you are here for me, I feel safe, I feel supported, and I feel good that I'm doing the same for someone else. So connection, so where is it? Connect is one of my goals. So social, this could be DMing, setting up dates with friends, catch up. So let's have a look. So for me, I'm going to put, this one is connection episode. I have to, before I forget, in the description. So I'll make sure I'll pop that in the description. So if you want to listen to that, or you can just check my podcast episode playlist on YouTube. Okay, so connect. So let's have a look at my connect habit. So again, there's been 14 days in the month. Let's have a look at how many times I've connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this 11 does not include my Mindful Messy March YouTube videos. This is me DMing. This is me FaceTiming. This is me sending messenger. This is me, catching up with friends or talking on the phone, any sort. And a lot of it is just say, hey, how's your day going? And I don't need a reply back. It's not about the, they didn't, it's not, I don't need force my friends to react or reply right away, because I know they're busy too. And sometimes I don't go and reply right away. So it's just letting someone know I've been thinking of you. So then hopefully when they do think of me, they let me know and I feel good, right? So it's the things that we do and we focus on that we're going to do more. So let's have a look. So of course, 11 divided by 14 as a percentage is 78%. So for that, I use my yellow. So let's do about 8. Color 8 segments of this pie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So close to 8. Woohoo! And you know what? The connection is probably one of the biggest contributors of me being able to manage my anxiety, my anxious thoughts, the overwhelm, is because when I'm in the moment of the unknown of what do I do, and then you get a ping, hi Marianne, how are you, or even the comments from you guys saying that you've enjoyed my doodle session, or this, when I have my live streams or any of my episodes, that a lot of you tell me this came at the perfect moment. That helps me. All right, everything's okay, Marianne. It's all right, okay? What do you need to do? Let's look at our habit tracker and say, okay, well, have you had lunch? Okay, you haven't had lunch. Okay, go have your lunch. Okay, it's one of those things that help me refocus or snaps me back into place. So if you are feeling sometimes maybe a little bit, your head is spiraling with so many different things, one of the things is just reach out. Just reach out and say, hey, was thinking of you. Okay, so really important that it's one, you wouldn't think that it would do a lot, but it does. It helps so much. All right, so let's quickly have a look. Let me know if you have any questions or big aha moments, or any of these habits that I do for myself. Is that, any of it something you might want to add into your own habits and routine? Let me know. Okay, so where we'll connect, get outside. So again, that's part of my physical and mental well-being, because as they say, getting yourself some fresh air, some sunshine, if you walk around nature. So for me, I live in the city, but there's lots of big parks, so I like to walk around the park because of course, the greenery of the grass, and there's nice big trees and that's things like that. So also, if you find yourself, I know for me, I haven't been getting myself outside because again, so I'm making sure I'm doing that. So here I've done 3 so far, so I need to do more of those. So I'm going to put on here in my notes, and I might use, since we did where is it, since we did, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Since we did hand lettering drills the other day, maybe I can practice my hand lettering. So we've got downstroke, we have compound, curve, we have oval, we have, what's this one called, underturn, and then we have an E and an S. Okay, I'm going to note down. I'm going to use my Koretake clean color dot marker. So I'm going to note, let's see, get outside for a walk. Look, I'm going to put 3 to 5 times per week. Okay, I'm not going to give myself a big goal of trying to do it every day, because then of course, even though it's about progress, and it's not about doing 100%, I know myself, I still need to build the habit of making sure that it's progress, not perfection. So I need to be kind to myself and go, don't put too much pressure on myself. So I've just noted for the getting the walk, get myself outside more. Whoop, it's zoomed in a bit. So let me know, do you get yourself outside? And this is outside that's not, when you say get outside, it's like, well, yes, I go to work outside. But no, this is like they're just for you. You're going for a walk, or just going to the park, or sitting at a bench, or going to a cafe. So really important. So where are we? Work, connect, get outside, read and learn. Okay, so that's what my mental well-being. So read my book, Let Them Theory, or listen to the new podcast. So let's have a look. I'm going to just do this. So I wouldn't normally be writing everything down, like this. But so then you can do it, and then you can, because the more I show, the more you'll get to go, oh, okay, I'll get how she does her percentages or things like that. So what I say, read or learn. So that's the goal for my mental well-being. Okay, so 14 days. How often have I been doing that? So 1, 2. Is that right? Only 2. 2 out of 14. So that's good. 2 divided by 14 as a percentage is only 14%. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Why? You go, Marianne, why are you okay with that? Like, that's only 2 days out of the 14. So I'm going to do only this tiny bit. Why? Because top other priorities or other things that are happening, it has taken priority. So remember, I had that big decision I had to make, and I spent probably 3 or 4 days anxious about it, and then sitting with my emotions, journaling. How do I get through this tough moment of making the decision, or having to maybe go back to work full time. So the reading and learning, it wasn't a priority. So that is why, even though it's only 14%, I only read 2 times out of the 14. And even though reading and learning was one of my goals, it wasn't a top priority. So this is why it's so important for you not just to go and look at your planner page and be hard on yourself and see more of the unticked or incomplete tasks or incomplete habits, but also reflect, checking in on yourself that, you know what, it wasn't a top priority. So it's okay. But later, if I'm going, oh, my mind, especially, with brain fog and perimenopause, if I'm finding myself suddenly forgetting a lot of things, and or, cognitively, I'm unable to make, decisions even after I've slept, I've eaten, I've added movement, that's going to start to signal to myself, oh, you got to keep your brain elastic, and how they call it neuroplasticity. You gotta go do something to keep your mind active. So instead of getting to that point, that is why it's important that we read things. It doesn't have to be just all non-fiction. It could be nice fiction books, because then that will evoke creativity. And especially, I love romance books. I need to read more. Okay, so it's not just about the incomplete, but also reflecting on what else happened in the month. All right. So here, any other time before I started really looking at reflecting on my habits, I would have been hard on myself and gone, you didn't do the reading, you didn't do the learning. But no, I'm okay with it, because I am checking in and I'm reflecting on what else happened in the month. So let's say, I didn't have the overwhelm or the anxiety of making big choices. Let's just say I was having fun with the kids and we're on holiday, and we were doing all the sightseeing, and after each sightseeing, we have something to eat, and then we just all fall asleep and we start on the next adventure, and I didn't have reading as part. I wouldn't be hard on myself then, would I? Because I know there were other things that happened. So really important to know these things. Okay, let's quickly have a look. Gail says it's hard right now with all the pollen to be outside much. And what you can do is, with movement or getting outside, because really getting outside too, I think, to the benefit of that is seeing sunlight, and then that helps your circadian rhythm, and then help you tell your brain, hey, it's daylight, so let's get up, be active. And then so it resets your circadian clock. So you can do, if you're inside, just making sure that they open the windows, open the blinds, let as much sunlight in. So even they say, scientists even say, even if it's a cloudy day, just allowing the getting outside, not only, of course, is fresh air, nature, but helping you set your circadian rhythms to say, rhythm to say, it's daylight, be active, come on, all right, because then in the next probably however many hours that we're supposed to be active and awake, that's how it is. So if you're unable to get outside, just opening up your window and just letting as much sunlight in also will help. Yes, not much, depends on my body. Ronica, I did read the last book by the author. I like his work, and you can give the areas a weight. Some of them matter most than others. Yeah, so you can do, look, you can, like I said, you need to go and, weigh the different things in whatever makes sense to you. So you can either do it this way, you can do it rated just out of 10, or as Gail said, some of them way more. For me, it'll just too complicated if I try and, okay, because really, let's say walking, if I also walk, get outside, and then do my strength training, that would be, I would color in a bigger pie for my movement, my physical goals. But for this, because I'm just keeping everything the same, and that's why I note things down. So then that way, so whatever way will make sense to you. So really for this, it's not, I know now for myself that I'm not going to be hard, that it's only, 1.4 out of the 7 or 14%, because it wasn't a high priority. So I'm okay with it. But if I keep checking mid-March, end of March, April, May, June, and all this, and then the blue is still a small percentage, and then I know my brain fog is not getting worse, then I would go, Marianne, I think it's time for you to focus on making sure your mental well-being is looked after. So again, this is just for me the way I do it. Please do it this way that will make sense to you, because yeah, I could easily go, a weight of this and weight of that, but it's already sometimes hard for me to go and do the check-in. So whatever makes sense to you, and color in if you are doing your mid-month check-in, do it out of 10, give yourself a rating out of 5, whatever makes sense to you. Because if you read this, won't make sense to you, because it's my check-in, but it's just showing you one way. I love that. Yes, do a weight, or you can apply different weights to each one. So where were we? Read, learn, dinner, unwind, time with my husband, plan priorities, journal, skincare, unplug, and water intake. So what else do I have on there? So I have my spiritual, my physical, my connect, my daily. Okay, so my daily, the 5-minute tidy up. I think I didn't add it into my habit tracker, but I think I might have put it into my well-being planner. Let's see, what do I have in my well-being planner? Well-being planner, 5-minute tidy up 1. Yeah, I didn't do much with the tidy up. No, okay. So 1. So I won't even fill the tidy up in. I'm just going to put here 5-minute tidy up. It's okay, right? Because we clean as we go. We do the laundry, we clean the kitchen, we clean the bathroom as we go. Again, we only live in a small flat. So for that, I'm just going to leave that empty, because 1 out of 14 is probably not going to make a big difference. What else is on here? So the financial things, doing my 30-day mindful messy March, promoting. So I'm going to put that as pretty much 100%. That's a win. Where is mine? Okay. So I am going to put that. So even though it's, because I guess this is part of the work, so that's all in there. But I have showed up and I have uploaded videos. And so these are the things that I'm doing to ensure, as part of my content creation, contributing to the income stream. Okay, so that's 100%. Because that was my challenge. That was my thing that I know would help me, and will help motivate me, will help make me happy, showing up. And I think the final one was the career. Look for a full-time job, review resume, apply. So that I won't, I think I added this bit. I didn't fill it in for the beginning of the month, because I had this financial income producing activity, which is related to career in content creation. This here I've added just recently. So of course that has nothing. So I'm going to put here, look, oops, look, oopsie, look for full-time job. Okay, so there we go. Gail says, I really admire how you're doing this 30-day challenge. Because look, Gail, I spent so much money getting all the gear that I need, and then getting all the software that I need. And then I was thinking to myself, Marianne, this is what you wanted. You wanted to have the right cameras. You wanted to have the right gear. You wanted to set up your little corner of the room. So then you already have a studio. So then you can, there is no more excuses about why you can't create content. And so though I wasn't able to give myself any more excuses. I have everything readily available. So I've made it easy for myself to just be able to turn on the camera, think up of what topic I need to talk about today. And because I have been practicing and I have been showing up regularly, it's starting to become a really good skill that I had the skill before, but now the nerves isn't taking over, or the doubt, the self-doubt, the limiting beliefs aren't stopping me, because I could just go, if I make a mistake, if technical issues happen, it's okay. I can bounce back from that because I am learning more and more as I go. So thank you so much, Gail, for saying that you admire my 30-day challenge and showing up, because yes, it's a thing that because I used to go, well, if I only had the right camera, if I only had the right system, if I only had the right setup. Well, I created it. So now there is no more excuse. So Ronnie Cat says, I am tired, but it is a challenge in a sense for me too. To show up, consistency is a plus. Exactly. And remember, consistency does not mean every day or even every second day. Whatever consistency means for you, it could be once a month. In the check-in, you might just do at the end of the month. Or you might just do every 2 months. You might look at your goals every 2 to 3 months, maybe every quarter. But make sure you're doing it the next quarter, or then you might do it every 2 weeks. Whatever consistency mean, because a lot of us think, I know used to think that consistency means showing up every day, or being doing it as much as we can. No. So whatever is within your capacity, within the energy that you have. That's why I always like to have a range. So 3 to 5 times per week, 10 to 30 minutes. So then if I'm not feeling in the mood, or if I'm not, I don't have the energy, instead of doing a 30-minute, maybe I'll do only 10. Sometimes I might just go, Marianne, just do 2 minutes. And a lot of times you do 2 minutes, you go, okay, well, while I'm here, I might as well do the 5 minutes. Because the thing that stops us a lot of, one of the things that I spoke about in the Stop the Procrastination live stream is, you're either fearful of doing something, you don't know what you're doing because you don't know the steps, or it's just easier to just sit on the couch. Is it Newton's law of inertia? Like it's once you start going, it's much easier to keep going. All right, so the notes. All right, I need to get outside more. So what do I need to look at for the rest of March? So the top priority, so what's this? Well, first of all, look for a job. So that's my top priority. So look for a full-time job. Okay, so how do I do that? By looking at the projects list that we created the 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Oh, there it is. Okay, so instead of looking at one big task, getting overwhelmed by looking for a full-time job, I have broken down the steps. And so I need to do these and just do these steps one at a time. And I put them, so again, that's another video I'll make sure. So Stop the procrastination, right? So break down if the steps or the habits towards the goals that you have set for yourself is too big, break it down into small actionable pieces, and that's what I did there. So let me write that down. Okay, so look for a full-time job. Check the projects list. Check the projects list for the small actionable steps to schedule in the planner. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm just having a look what else. So that's that one, which was the orange. Let me just highlight that so I know. So that was the orange. So that goal is for my career. Now I really need to go and do some tidy up, because now, because I haven't, like things like surfaces, my dining table at the moment has all my junk on it. So the next one is making sure I focus on minimum 5-minute tidy up each day, because I know they say that your environment also affects your mood. So if I see mess, I know for myself I'll get triggered by that, or be like, that's everything's a mess. So that's the focus. So see there. So see how now, even though originally I was just looking at percentages, all that gave me was a visual representation of how well I did with the actions that I said I would take on a regular basis to get to my goals. So now I'm just looking at it from a visual point of view, not so much percentages or the amount of pie, right, that I colored in. So then the other one is blue, so which is the mental well-being. Where's my blue? Okay, so these will be my top priority for the rest of March. So read the predictable profit, or listen, because it's an Audible book. So at the moment, I sort of stopped reading the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, because it's the part of the book there, because I think I'm at 87%, really, I should just finish it. But it's a part about a relationship with partner, and so it wasn't as applicable to me, and so it's sort of like the urge to finish it, or keep reading has sort of stopped. But I need to make sure for the rest of March that I look at reading the predictable profit book, because that talks about creating memberships for my content creation. So that's what I have at the moment. So what I want you to do is have a look. Okay, why isn't this happening? Don't know what goals. Is this it? Okay. So what goals have you got in your planner? What goals did you make at the beginning of the month? Okay. And then have a look. Let me see what okay, what challenges came up? So for me, the challenges that came up is having to make the decision that I need to look for a full-time job outside of the home. So which of course, as you can see here, created a little bit of a void in my morning routine, because I'd wake up with such heavy thoughts. And so, what do I do? And so I sat with that emotion. So if you go back into the podcast on how to journal and use your planner when it comes to going through such big emotions in your current situation, and getting all those thoughts that spiral in your head and worry you even more so than it is, write about it, write down how you feel, write down the pros and cons, write what plan of action you need to take. And then, so of course, as you can see here, the next day, once I was able to remove all that heaviness out of my mind and down on paper, I know I slept well. And then the next morning I go, all right, what do we need to do? Well, now let's focus on making sure we're looking after ourselves, because a lot of my morning routine are things that deal with me, with my mental well-being, with my physical well-being, drinking water, having something to eat, looking after myself, giving myself a high five. Okay, so making sure that you are journal your way through it to make sure to help you make the right next steps, write down the next step. And look, that the next day I did, and so really good thing. So what challenges came up for you and what adjustments need to be made? So for me, just this is just a small adjustment so far. So I might not worry about that in my morning routine. Maybe I'll write that down, that routine in the evening instead. Okay, so I can change it up depending on what's a priority for you at the moment. So always think, just because you're not doing it, maybe is because, well, you need to go and check in and reflect. Why aren't you doing it? Because maybe at the moment it's not working out, it's not a priority. Take it off, look at it again in the following month, or remove it to a different time of the day. So always check in with yourself and don't go, well, it's not working, it must be me. So that's the thing that I am learning now, is if something's not working, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm procrastinating, that I'm being lazy, that I'm not disciplined, or I don't have the motivation. It might be the system, or it might be the time of day. So maybe, like, instead of morning, maybe the particular habit that you have that you say you want to do, move it into another day. So just experiment and just try and figure out the best way and the best system. Okay, so let me know what things have you discovered just by us talking together about things you might want to change up, or the challenges that have come up along the way. So I know, like, for Gail, I think, was it Gail, regarding being outside. So getting outside at the moment is going to be too difficult with the pollen. So try and figure out, well, what else can I do to ensure that I'm getting nature, or I think they even say, like, fake plants. That's why you see me with all these IKEA fake plants, because even fake plants and the greenery still has the similar effect as if you were walking out, you're looking at trees and getting yourself outside. So maybe doing some gardening on the inside. Okay, so the other things to look for is, are there any patterns with your motivation? So if you're really highly full of energy in the morning, try and do a lot of your tasks then, or things that are a little bit harder, or things that are important, like walking on the walking pad or journaling and things like that. So look for patterns in your motivation to make sure that you take advantage of it. And what habits needs to be adjusted? So I know I'm taking that out. So you know why probably I haven't been doing my morning routine? It's because oh, sorry, not morning routine, the cleaning task. So what I might do is I'm going to cut this bit here, and then I might put 5-minute tidy up. So what I'll do is I'm going to add a little piece of paper that will have the tidy up, and then I'm going to use, see, because I use the Pilot Friction Erasable, I can actually make that, I want to make these spaces available for my 5-minute tidy up. See, reason why probably I wasn't doing my 5-minute tidy up is because I didn't write it in my habit tracker. So see how I've been able to adjust. I wonder if I can do this. Let me see. Let me see. I'll probably get a piece of right. Let me see if this will work. Let me see if this will work. Maybe this is too small now. I'm going to press it. Oh, hang on. Where is it? Where is it? So this is a good way for you to go, you know what? I want to change something up. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. I might keep the pink actually because then it stands out. Look at that. Look at that. 5-minute tidy up. So now instead of the high five, I'm going to use the rest of the habit tracker to do my 5-minute tidy up. See, I was able to see the reason why I wasn't actioning my 5-minute tidy up routine was because it wasn't visible. It wasn't in my face. Because I had the habit tracker, I check all the time. I check all the time and it wasn't there. So this, in my check-in session for today, I was able to discover that the 5-minute tidy up wasn't getting done because I didn't have it listed down here. I must have forgotten about it. So now I'm just going to add that there. So we're starting today because it's Saturday. So I'm not going to wait until Monday to do it. I'm going to start today. So see if I can do a 5-minute tidy up, put the timer on my Apple Watch or on the kitchen timer, and then just tidy up a surface, tidy up a desk, tidy up the kitchen counter, tidy up the backsplash or the and things like that. All right, so that's a habit I need to adjust. And then of course, are there any habits that need more attention? Well, yes. So I need to go and put attention into looking for a full-time job. All right, so have a look. Getting things done, but have to make a few changes for fun and spiritual. I love it. Making sure you're putting things that's playful, that's creativity. That's why the doodle session's really good, because a lot of the people, a couple of the people that have watched it on replay or were here in the live thought it was such a good fun, and then it evoked other thoughtful stuff. So whatever fun creativity is for you, do that. I mean, I bought myself, those paint by numbers, and I put the timer on for half an hour. I like to do that when my mind is really racing and quite anxious. So I've done that. So really important. Now, of course, if you are liking this video or you are watching on replay, and as you do your mid-month check-in with me and getting lots of aha moments, make sure to hit that like button. It just lets me know if this is something you first of all want to have a see more of, and then that way to help you work through your own habits and goals and see. Sometimes walking through it with someone else will go, oh, okay, yeah, it's okay that I didn't do that after all, because yes, other things showed up. There were more top priorities. Okay, so really important. Thank you so much for the like. All right, so then the other things we talked about is looking at your goals. So some of these goals have changed for me. So I know I added the look for a full-time job only in the second half of the month. So then I'll go and it wasn't this bit wasn't the career focused goal. There wasn't really any at the beginning of the month because I was looking into this 30-day my 30-day mindful messy March challenge, which is part of my career, but looking at that. Okay, and so which goal stays the same? So for the moment, I need to make sure I look at reading my, focusing on my mental well-being and reading some things, focusing on make sure my environment, my home is not a mess, because I know that will affect my mood, and it can trigger me, trigger mum's, temper. And then of course the orange, which is career. All right, so have a look. What goals that you have set for yourself in March? What are staying? What are changing? And which goals need a new approach? Maybe you're going to go, instead of doing it in the morning, do it in the evening, right? Or instead of doing it 3 to 5 times a week, maybe just once or twice this week is enough, because I have so much already on and I don't want to put another thing on my plate or another brick in my backpack that will weigh me down. All right, so really important. And set small realistic steps. So don't go, all right, well, actually, I really need to look at my mental well-being and read my books. So I'm going to read 3 chapters every night, and try and read 3 books for the rest of the month. If that's all you're doing for the month, then fantastic. But if you have other things going on, make sure to put small realistic goals. So for my full looking for a full-time, I have my checklist. So all I got to do is to action those small actionable manageable steps that I work through. I'll make sure to pop the link in the video for that stop procrastination video. 5-minute tidy up. Look, if 5 minutes still is like, I'm going, oh, 5 minutes is, I'd rather be doing something else. Maybe put 2 minutes, right? Just do 2 minutes. Once the timer goes off, that's it. Go and do something else and then read my book. So make sure you are setting realistic goals. Okay, so let's quickly just recap. So look at what goals that you have set for yourself at the beginning of the month. Now, if you are tracking it, those actions and the steps you said you would take either each day or regularly on a weekly basis, if you have a habit tracker, look at them. Or if you have just written just the feel, like you go, you know what, I've done okay with my reading, I've done okay, then you can use those as a gauge to rate or color in the pies. For me, the way I do it, I just did it mathematically. 8 days out of the 14, I walked on my walking pad. So I colored in, 57% of my pie, right? I meditated 7 days out of the 14. And as you can see, I colored in half of the pie. Okay, I just used my zebra mild liner to color in. These colors make sense to me, so color code in a way that makes sense to you, right? Some goals you might find you're on track, others you might find need adjustment, and others you just need to completely let go of for the month or maybe for the quarter. Okay, so really important, be kind to yourself, right? So let me just make sure, let me know if you have any questions, any aha moments. So look at each habits related to your goals tracker in the key area of focus. So you don't need to have 7 goals happening all at the same time. You can just focus on 1, 2, or 3, right? This is where, and you need to go look not just at your planner pages or the boxes that's incomplete, or and go, oh, I only read 2 times the first 2 weeks of the month, right? You need real insight into how your habits are going, what else happened in the month, or what else happened in the first 2 weeks of the month. So you need to, that's why it's really important to journal as well, or note down what's been happening. Okay, so it's really important that you do not get too hard on yourself. All right, so now that we've reflected on what's working and what's not, we plan ahead. So all of this, right, I'm going to go and use my well-being planner in my ultimate planner bundle. So for the month, the next, how many weeks left? Two weeks left, 3 weeks left. So moving forward, okay, so let me just, okay, so moving forward, all these focus here. So the look for a job, then I will write that here. So I would write down actually, check projects list for full-time job. So then I'll go, okay, well, what's the projects list? It says there, update my resume. Okay, and then in my planner, I'm going to go update resume, and then here I'm in the weekly, apply for job, apply for job, apply for job, apply for job, or apply for job. Okay, so you need to put all the things you're going to do for the rest of the month into action by planning ahead. Put it in your daily pages, in your weekly planner. So however you plan for your week or your day, make sure it is written down. Because it's all good and well that we go, all right, I need to do this, I need to do this, but the small actionable step is done by intentionally putting it in your planner and writing it down. Don't just go look for a job, and because I know I'm going to get overwhelmed by that. So I need to know, well, what's the first step? What do I need to do next? All right. So write down the goals for the next 2 weeks, or however many weeks is left. So we got, where are we? 1, 2. Yeah, 2 weeks for the write down the steps you need to take for the next 2 weeks to get you closer to your goal. Each and every day, every 2 days, 3 to 5 times a week. All right, so really important. Please write it down in your planner. And so the most important thing out of all of this, okay, let me just pop them all back, is March. So that goal goes over there. And then this habit tracker, it goes over there. The most important thing when you are actioning and creating habits to get you through to your goal is choosing to prioritize your mental well-being. Way before any productivity task, way before any to-do list. Okay, because if we don't look after ourselves, then we are not going to be in a good position to do the tasks that we have set for ourselves. Okay, so addressing our mental well-being can lead to better productivity. So instead of putting productivity first and actioning all your tasks and to-dos, make sure you go and prioritize your mental well-being. That's looking after you physically, emotionally, spiritually. So those who are going to go and do more maybe script reading or whatever it is that's going to help you spiritually, make sure you put those in your planner as one of your top priorities each day. Because taking breaks, resetting your priorities just like we did today, and listening to yourself and knowing what can I handle within my mental and energy and well-being capacity that's going to sustain me in reaching the goals I have set for myself. So by allowing ourselves to make sure you give yourself grace if you do fall off the wagon, if you don't get yourself outside, or if I don't get myself on the walking pad 6 times per week, or I don't get to read or listen to my Audible book, that I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to give myself some compassion to pause. Take time to look after myself and focus on self-care. By doing this, you're going to be more resilient. And that's probably why I am able to show up, so far each and every day for my own goal that I challenge that I've given myself, is because I have been taking the time to go and write down my mood, drink water, stretch in the morning, eat well, and also getting myself outside. This is going to help you be more resilient and able to help yourself get back on track if and when you do fall off the habit tracking wagon. And then it's going to help you get to your goals with more clarity and more energy. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. Probably I'm wrapping up, but I'm more than happy to see you on the replay and in the comment section, as you do all the time. MT, how are you? I'm at my monthly Planet Day meetup and I forgot my headphones. I missed turning in for some MC goodness. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much. Now, is this the first time we've seen your name? You probably hung out. Or is this a different account? Let me know your first name, but I know unless I haven't been paying attention. Hey, where's my name? Whoa! All right, so really important that you give yourself lots of compassion, lots of grace, and but put yourself first. I am proving here because I don't know how I'm showing up. Because a lot of these me showing up on YouTube are live streams, and they go on for about an hour and a half. But I think I know why. Because I know I'm looking after myself, and I'm taking the time to journal through my feelings, writing it down. And what else do? We go and have some fun. Okay, so make sure you are really looking at the progress, not the my account used to be called Michelle. My name's Michelle. Huh? Yeah. Hello. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Yay, 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 yay. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's take a deep breath. Hold it in. Release it nice and slow. And I want us, you and me, to approach our next steps with self-compassion. Okay, so as we reflect on balancing our goals and self-care and making sure that we are engaging with each other just like we are and having mindful activity, we can go and add some creativity and some fun in our day. We did that yesterday. Hey, now that teacher, actually, I was wearing a great t-shirt yesterday, right? So add some fun. What does fun look like to you? I heard that the doodling session was really successful. A lot of you have said you enjoyed that, but fun could be, hey, for some, hiking might be fun, right? For me, not so much. Although when I was little, I used to enjoy bushwalking when we first arrived here in Australia, and we lived near the Blue Mountains here in New South Wales. And my auntie and uncle used to take us nearly every weekend for bushwalking, 10-kilometer bushwalking in the mountains, right? I used to enjoy that, and I miss that. And I miss that my children, didn't get to experience that, because I don't think I'll be able to drag them bushwalking nowadays. Okay, so the doodling session is a great way to add some mindfulness, fun activity. It's simple yet effective way to center ourselves and embrace the present moment. A lot of people said they ran out of space on their the paper that they were doodling with. So grab yourself a pen and paper and make sure to watch that doodle session video. Okay, so I do have the link in the description. And of course, make sure if you do like this video, hit that like button to make sure to let me know you are enjoying it. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do. That would be really, really appreciative. So if you want more self-care and personal growth content, that is wonderful. I'll be back later on the replay, Marianne. I hope you have a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I will. Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. Okay, so thank you for joining me this session. And remember, okay, just remember, let me remove this, okay? Prioritizing your well-being is a strength, not a weakness. So do not ever feel guilty about taking time off for yourself. It is vital. It is so important. It will help you have the confidence, the resilience, and the clarity to be able to get through the moments that may not be as pleasing, may not be as fun, may be overwhelming, may be stressful, may be anxious. But if you look after yourself first, you are in a better position to help others and be more productive. Okay, so let's continue the journey together. Until next time, my darlings, I will see you in the comment section. Bye and happy doodling. Bye.